Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. I am Nancy Blizzard, your host, and my guests today are Jenkins and Andrew Flatland. Welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you guys are here.
Us too.
Yes. What is your role in fashion, Eve?
I am the designer for Parasite Eve Designs. I do couture designs.
Oh, wonderful.
Couture bridal, alternative bridal, kind of fantasy gowns. Fantasy couture. So it looks like it's something that popped out of a fairy tale. I get a lot from Gothic and Victorian, but also I grew up on a lot of anime and stuff like that. So the Gothic Lolita scene.
And Andrew, tell me a little bit about what your role is.
I'm the accessory and headpiece designer for Parasite Eve Designs.
Fashion design I've only done for 6 years, but I did cosplay and costume design for 16. I started making cosplay because I'm just naturally good at sewing. And I had a lot of friends who needed costumes to go to conventions, and so I started making costumes for them, and everyone liked them, and it just grew from there. But when China started making costuming and cosplay really cheap, they stopped buying. I get cosplay commissions here and there, and they're fun every now and again, but I'm just replicating something from like an anime or a game or something. But they're repeat customers, so that's always helpful.
You teach yourself things? I mean, how do you teach yourself how to bead?
I taught myself everything. I have no professional training.
You have no professional training?
Mm-mm. None.
Never been to school, done
Nope.
school?
Well, self-taught.
Yeah, all self-taught.
Yeah.
I mean, then how did you start then? I mean, you had to have started somewhere, right?
About the
Self-taught.
same, self-taught.
The same things, just self-taught?
I learned from a YouTube video and then went from there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I did cosplay for years too, so I know all these weird techniques of how to make armor and just weird stuff. So
She kind of saw wire and everything, and I used to draw a lot, and she's like, this kind of looks like some of your drawings, and so I kind of started learning just step by step, just adding different things. Started steampunk and then moved on to the pretty intricate stuff.
I challenge him.
She
Because with the Empress collection, he had never done headpieces before. I'm like, we need headpieces with everything.
She put together this really pretty, colorful flower. It's amazing, and it took some time to learn.
Days to make a flower.
Yeah, but you can tell it was worth the 3 days. It's just gorgeous. And that's gonna be the fairy dress?
Fairy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's exciting because it's like, as much detail as she's putting in her gown, it's like I need to accentuate to show that. So
Yeah.
it's like it inspires me. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yes, okay. I need to make it look just as I can't be bland. I gotta make be on par. So
I like the ones that sparkle in the lights.
I do too. Sparkly's pretty.
Yeah, when we designed the Empress collection for New York, that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted every gown to walk down the runway, and every single one sparkled. When we showed in New York Fashion Week, it was actually the largest line we had ever done, up to Royals, because we showed even more then. But we brought 38 Denver models to New York with us. Madalyn was actually one of them. And so we did a 38-piece collection, brought it to New York, showed it there, and it took about 1.5 years to create the whole thing. And then we showed it a couple weeks ago here. We premiered the collection here and included 3 new men's jackets and then 3 new kids' gowns. I was able to let 38 Denver models walk in New York, so that's awesome alone. So
yeah.
I made a lot of their dreams come true, and they all had an amazing time out there. So that's what I want to go into.
Yeah.
Is motion pictures and like theater. I'd rather do movie production than bridal. Right now I mainly do bridal.
And I understand you're going to be a part of the Denver Ballet. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yeah, I'll be part of their production of Sleeping Beauty on April 14th and 15th. They actually just saw us at Denver Unique Week of Fashion, and they contacted us about doing it.
Are you excited going to Vancouver, Andrew?
Absolutely.
What an opportunity.
Right. We got 12 designs in mind that are going to be...
The new collection is called the Labyrinth Collection, so it's actually based off fairy tales. So we have like a dragon dress themed one, we have a mermaid themed one, a harpy themed one, a fairy, which is currently being worked on, and she's covered in like head to toe in flowers.
Now that the audience has heard all about these beautiful gowns, they're going to want to see one. Tell me a little bit more about this dress.
So this dress is called Eleanor. We designed it for the Empress collection that we showed in New York Fashion Week, and we recently showed here with the show Royals. So it's part of the royal court. And everything on the bodice is hand done, and then we added hot fix crystals and glitter to the skirt to kind of make it sparkle a little bit, because the whole collection has that.
I can see the glitter on the skirt.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful. Yeah. The front of it's just magnificent.
Yes.
So nice.
Lots of sequins.
I like lace too.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked lace. Andrew, tell me a little bit about the headpiece.
It's a crown that has red and gold wire and just red rhinestones attached.
So this dress is actually designed to look like the sand dunes of Colorado. So when she backs up, it actually looks like the dunes of the sand and then the sky above it. And then what it was originally created for, that show never happened, so we put it in the Empress collection and added all the gold detailing, and it all worked out, and we named it Desert Princess. The under part is generally about 8 yards of fabric, and then the over part on that, 650 yards of organza.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. And then it's all ruffled up and sewn on there line by line by line. There is a huge petticoat underneath with about 7 giant bones.
And so your headpieces that you designed, you specifically design it for the dress?
Sometimes she might sketch the dress or talk about what the inspiration is, and then we'll go ahead and decide what kind of pattern or size that we're wanting to use. And materials, yeah, and then go from there.
The bigger ball gown dresses, they take a whole lot longer. They can take several months to make, whereas the shorter, like Lolita dresses and some of the mermaid dresses, they don't take as long, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. It all depends, beading, materials, everything of how long it takes.
And what materials do you like to work with?
Satin, chiffons, laces.
And do you sketch at all?
Sometimes.
Sometimes
I do. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just get it inspired by the fabric and make it up in my head and just whip it out. And it looks gorgeous on the mannequins, but the mannequins don't move. Right. They just stand there. Mm-hmm. And so when you actually put them on real people and they move with them, it looks so much more beautiful. Like me and another woman were actually talking how we probably look like stalkers when we dress them, because we're just in the background like, oh, so pretty. Just staring at them the whole time, because it's our work finally put together.
Have you made anything out of like refurbished materials before?
Oh, of course. Like the sunbeam headpiece that he did, it was actually trash from when I worked at a curtain factory. It was the back of Roman shades. It was in the trash, so I took it. And then he will use a lot of scrap material from the dresses too. So I'll like show him a scrap and be like, is this big enough for you, and give it to him. So he uses remnants from me.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he repurposes all my material, and then we have grabbed random stuff and just made dresses out of it.
So you said a curtain factory. Did you work for you worked for a curtain factory?
It was not fun.
No.
No, I cut rectangles all day.
Have you ever started something and gone, oh, this isn't working?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I've thrown full gowns probably in the trash because I'm just like, yeah, no. You get mad at them.
I've gotten far, and then symmetry is like off by like, even 1/4 of an inch, and I'm like, nope, start over.
I've sewn things upside down, inside out, all sorts of weird ways, and then when I'm done, I'm like, wait a minute.
I appreciate the diverse amount of creativity that everybody's bringing. We have such a variety. Got avant-garde looks, absolutely kind of like off the wall, in just a creative, beautiful way. Just very inspirational to see so much creativity in our community. It's really a blessing to be, in Denver and getting to see such unique people, honestly. Yeah.
It's grown a lot.
Yeah.
It has grown a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing shows here for like 5 years, and 5 years ago you'd maybe get 1 or 2 shows a year, and there weren't that many. And now you have like DFW, DUFW, Massive, and all the other ones popping up. So we certainly have a lot more shows going on than we used to.
What do you think about the changes in Denver in fashion?
There certainly are a lot more designers coming up, and there's a lot more models coming up, but we have an influx of people moving in and out of here, so I don't know, it's a little weird lately because we're getting a lot of new models and a lot of the old ones are moving out of Denver, so a lot of the designers too, like we recently lost Eddie Riquet.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
And then we're losing Liz Jelani, which is a great photographer. She's moving out of here too, so it kind of seems like it's in the middle of changing people right now.
You wanted to go to Hollywood, correct? That's a wonderful place
Not
to be.
necessarily Hollywood in general, but just like movie and theater production. I think I'd be really good at that because I like I guess you wouldn't wear these in normal public. You should, but nobody does. So I fit more in the theatrical stuff than I do just everyday wear. And bridal can be fun, but it can also be a big challenge because it always depends on the bride of how panicky they're going to be. Sometimes they just go crazy.
And you guys have just formed a great partnership.
Yep.
Where you really work together and you're creating beautiful things.
Oh, yeah. More to come.
Gosh.
Bigger. Sparklier.
Yeah.
And more creepy.
Well, and she's just recently learned timbre.
Timbre beading.
Yeah, so she more beadwork. Just a lot more detail than she's done. I mean, she does a lot of detail, but now she's gonna do a lot more. It's really
I always
pretty.
try to outdo myself, and this collection was really gorgeous and pretty. I'm like, well, how do we outdo it?
And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want to do this full time, so hopefully I'll be doing that because right now this is not my full-time job.
And how about you, Andrew?
The same. Yeah.
Same.
Definitely want to be heading the right direction to making this my job.
When we get there and we have more time, we do want to get like a 3D printer and start doing shoes and wings and all those type of thing. We want crazy shoes.
What are your shoes going to look like? Maybe sparkly shoes? No?
We do sparkly all the time, so yeah. But no, I want to do stuff where, you have like a fairy that's actually the heel of the shoe and stuff like that. So they're just really fantasy looking and then they match the gowns.
What are you doing this summer?
So we want to create a couple shows this summer. We want to do WTF Runway, which is basically the weirdest stuff you will ever see on a runway, and we're doing it just to be weird. Like, you've seen those high fashion shows where you just look at it and you're like, what is going on? That's what we want to do. So we're going to have like girls in unicorn hoods that walk out as horses with the carriages, and want to get like just weird stuff, put it all together and put on a show. And then we also want to do Fairy Tale Couture. So we're going to invite the other Colorado kind of fantasy couture designers to come do that show with us.
Oh my gosh.
And then in October, we're going to produce Macabre show because I am basing a line off serial killers. So that'll be the premiere of that collection. It's creepier and weirder and darker. So it's called the Macabre.
Oh my goodness. You're in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go.
Yeah, it's going to be creepy. We're going to do that on purpose. We're going to be
dark.
It's going to be a bit dark.
Yeah, we've done 2 years of like just absolutely pretty. And so we're like, yeah, we're going to need to like vent our dark out.
Dark out.
So, because we have a lot of gothic background.
And I've gotten really far in like 6 years. I've started in New York 3 times. I'll be attending Vancouver Fashion Week as well as Tokyo Fashion Week. So I think it was just meant to be. So I never planned it. I just did it for fun and wound up that I really loved it.
Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show here at Denver Open Media with my guests Eve Jenkins and Andrew Flatland. It's been a pleasure having you both here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful day.